Welcome in, everybody. Nation pregame show, as always, presented by Deuce Vodka. I'm Josh. This is Jay. We might as well jump right into it, Jay. What the heck? Oilers shut out 2 games in a row. This tonight, as you can see from our #1 headline on the pregame show, is tonight a must-win game?
It's not a must-win for the season, but for God's sakes, it's a must-win for our mental health. Yes. Those last couple of games were tough. Last game in particular was tough. Saturday's a free pass because it's technically our body of work still suggests we're on a heater. We're just hitting a little bit of slump within this heater. Yep. So Saturday I give them a pass, but that last game was tough. You know, I think you got to give credit to the Leafs a bit. They're playing pretty good defensively, and they're really making us work to create our own opportunities. But we were working our asses off, and we were creating opportunities we just couldn't bury.
We just want a goal.
We just want a goal.
Just mix in a goal.
This all goes back to over the first 14 minutes of that first period, we allowed 2 shots. 2.
And they were goals.
And they were both goals. And for me, I'm arguing with my buddies about that, about the quality of the shot or the chance. And, you know, you can't blame it on Mikko, but, like, if he saves 1 of 2 of those and definitely has to save that third one, and it's a 1-0 game, like, that just takes the wind out of your sails. So that was tough. I was watching the Oilers, like, they were shot out of a cannon. They were buzzing. Couldn't get anything past, who was in net now? Hutchison.
Yep.
And, you know, we cough up 2 shots, which, if we're doing that, that's great. 2 shots in 14 minutes, like, that's phenomenal.
See, the problem I had is that if you watch that first 5 minutes of that game, Oilers could have had 2 or 3 goals.
Oh.
It was an unbelievable start. And then the problem is, in that situation, is then your goalie, I know maybe the first one was a grade A chance, and maybe even the second one was a great shot by Nylander. But the thing is, if you're a good goaltender, you're going to make that save and bail out your team after the start.
Yeah, like it was a goaltender. That first period was a goaltender duo, and we lost.
Yes.
And that was the game.
And it's just mix in a save. Like, it just is so frustrating. If you're a good goalie in the NHL, which I think Mikko Koskinen has maybe the potential to be one day.
Well, he shows it.
You have to make the save. There's a difference between making a save and making the big save. Mike Smith did that the last 3 games that he started.
Yeah, and the last 2 periods of that game. Yeah, he stood on. Mike Smith came in, did everything in his power to give us a chance to win.
Christian says, huge bounce back win tonight. Kyle Ritchie coming in with a 7-0 Oilers prediction already. Bryce says, we need a win. These Leafs fans are too annoying.
And that's why it's a must-win. It's a must-win because we have to show the Leafs that we can beat them, and we have to just end this tirade of Leafs fans. They are so annoying.
I went to school with this kid who made a tweet the other day, big diehard Leafs fan, and he tweeted out, Is it time to start having the conversation that the Leafs are the best team in the NHL and it's not even close? And I wanted to go in on them, but I held back because I wanted to be like, hey, you know, there's 3 other divisions in the league, and I think maybe the Vegas Golden Knights and Tampa Bay Lightning would like to have a word about that.
No.
Like, yeah, maybe the North Division isn't as strong as some of the other divisions.
Or maybe it's the strongest.
Or maybe it's the strongest. That's the thing. We don't even know because we never play any of the other teams. But let's talk about tonight. Second headline is Oilers and Leafs lines. Our biggest conversation that we can have right now, or kind of the biggest hot topic this afternoon, is the Leafs are going to get 2 of their big guns back. Freddie Anderson reportedly making the start tonight, and of course, Austin Matthews is back. But the Oilers are 2-1 against the Leafs with Matthews in the lineup. So what's
I'm
story?
not afraid about it. I'm grateful that Austin Matthews and Freddie Anderson are back because it's juicing up the odds for the Oilers to win.
Yep.
And clearly, I can only bet on the Oilers in these situations. So I'm very excited for that. So yeah. If we come out and dominate, it doesn't matter who we're playing against. So
yep. Chadwick says it's funny the Leafs haven't won a playoff series in 20 years, and the Oilers have, which is indeed a fact. Jeremy says Freddie's horrible blocker high and his 5-hole is almost as bad. Please pass this one on, boys. Dylan's wondering, anyone else wondering why Bears getting ice time over Bouchard? Let's talk about that. Let's jump into the Oilers lineup for tonight. Of course, this team that we're icing today, in regards to not only the personnel, but the way it's going to be shaped up, is very, very different than what we've seen so far this season.
This is like last year.
This is like last year. So this has kind of been a story for the Oilers over the last few years, and it's already becoming a story this year, is that all of a sudden James Neal getting activated off the taxi squad right onto McDavid's left wing. Why not? Let the young man eat.
The magic of this season.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
It's a beautiful game. Connor's got his work cut out for him. Taking Nuge off, having a really cerebral and agile player taken off his line is going to hurt. Yep. But he's Connor McDavid, so
he'll make it happen.
Neil, just go to the right spots. You know how to shoot a puck. Connor, make sure you...
I like having Neil on this line. Well, I don't care. Come at me. I like it.
Where I like Neil, so Neil isn't going to be the guy who moves the puck. So McDavid's going to be carrying all the freight on that line.
Yeah.
But Neil can get in front of the net and own his space in front of the net.
Sit down.
So that's good. That's something he doesn't have. Puljujärvi's trying. He's not quite there yet, but also put him in a good shooting place because the guy can shoot the biscuit too. So...
You got the wheels in McDavid, you got the shot in Puljujärvi, and you got the big booty body in front of the net.
Big booty. Work that booty.
Why wouldn't we? Okay, that means our second line, the dry line, Draisaitl, Yamamoto, and Nugent Hopkins.
You asked for it.
You asked for it. Dave Tippett finally was so sick and tired of the media and the fans coming at him saying, why? Why not? And I think that a lot of us were getting to a point where we're like, it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. He refused to go to it in the play-in series. He refused to go to it at the beginning of the season when the Oilers were struggling. Mm-hmm. He simply refused to it in every situation. And now all of a sudden, Dominic Cahoon banged up, not going to be playing tonight. We'll talk about that as well. And now we're getting the dry line. I know, you got to have that stud on the wing with McDavid as well. But I think just like the emergence of Jesse Puljujärvi is allowing Dave Tippett to do this.
Yeah, and that's true. This is now, we've got depth, so we can make we can mix it up a little bit. I'm excited. Like, you really just hope they can just go back to where they are because we've got all this hype and buzz around that line, and now that it's coming to be, I just hope they are buzzing tonight and reunite and bring back what they brought last season.
Leafs, Rod is coming in saying Leafs, first in the North, first in the NHL, longest active Stanley Cup drought. That is a fact. Chadwick says Leafs are playing in the easiest division. Wait till they play a team like Boston or Tampa. Well,
can't do that because that's like a backhanded slap to the Oilers.
Yeah, because then you're saying the Oilers aren't going to make the Final Four. Yeah. Bryce says Oilers need to come out hitting hard and set the Leafs back a bit. Landon says McDavid is not going to let Matthews outscore him.
No, I agree.
I don't see that coming. Anastasia says they're playing soft because they are used to winning against them. They weren't prepared for it, which is...
Well, we started playing a little heavier near the end of the last game. What I'm very excited for tonight is we saw that Archibald and McDermott exchange.
Oh, yeah. And
then we saw McDermott practicing.
It's just Dermott, not McDermott.
Oh, whatever. Who cares? Dermott practicing with Bogosian and probably butchered that. And Bogosian doing some little fight training as if he's getting ready, as if he's about to get into a scrap. I can't wait for that. Archie.
That picture of Archibald, that of him pointing, and you could see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
You know, some NHL players, man, the wires cross.
Yeah.
You can see it in their eyes. His wires cross.
I hope that's the main event tonight. I hope Archie and Dermott there square up, because that would be great.
Yep. Andrew says Neil needs to get to the net better. Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Well, yeah, Neil just got to get to the net and then own his spot in front of the net. One thing we were talking about is we got talking about forwards, but was talking about the defense.
Let's talk about the defense as well.
Talk about the D.
So we're seeing kind of a similar shakeup as to what we saw on opening night. Darnell Nurse tonight is going to go with Ethan Bear.
Yep.
So Ethan Bear, Darnell Nurse are going to be rejoined together, and then also going to go with the pair of Russell and Barry. And then the third pairing is going to be, help me out here, Jones and Larson, I believe. Right?
Jones and Larson.
Jones and Larson.
Yep. Yeah.
So Evan Bouchard coming out of the lineup once again. I know a lot of fans would like to see Bouchard in the lineup because he's kind of that young, sexy dad that we're like, yeah, we like him. He's got an awesome shot. He loves getting pucks on net. He struggled a little bit the last 2 games. You know, we've seen a couple situations where I know on that one goal he ended up losing his stick, and then he had a conversation with Jim Playfair on the bench. But a little bit of a shakeup up and down and all the way through the lineup tonight. And I think that is what you need to do when you get shut out 2 games in a row, Jay.
Yeah, we just, we got to bring our defensive game tonight, and because clearly these have been, for us, low-scoring affairs, so until we get our offense figured out, we got to focus on our defense, so I can see why they kind of have that in mind.
Yep.
So yeah, I want to have Dad in there. I want to have Dad in there.
We all
I
do.
love Dad. But we just need to win this hockey game, so if Tip thinks this is what he needs to do, he's reuniting the dry line. Let's all celebrate that for a second.
We'll take what we can get.
We'll take what we can get.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Beggars can't be choosers. I am begging, Oilers, though. I'm begging that you win tonight, and I am choosing you to win on the gambling tonight.
If you're joining with us on Facebook right now, I want you to stay tuned till the end because I'm going to put you guys up to a task that involves me placing a wager tonight. I'm putting it up to you guys, the fans watching right now, of the final potential wager that I placed tonight. I'm not going to tease it yet.
You want to talk about user interactive? This is engagement. This is good.
I'm literally letting you guys decide my fate for tonight's game.
Josh has given up on making his own choices.
Yes, so stay tuned to the end when we start talking about the betting because I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Christian says James Neal still has great hands and knows how to shoot and find the spots, and we see that on the power play as well. I want to talk about a wager. Keep this in mind for when we talk about this at the end. James Neal playing on PP1 probably tonight because Jason's
out.
Obviously suspended, and then also on that top line, James Neal could be a value pick for tonight. Let's look at a couple more questions here. Sherry Hallworth says, I say McDavid goes nuclear tonight.
Oh, I like that.
Nuclear. That could be actually a good play for the Deuce Vodka mode player of the day.
Player mode of the day.
Player mode of the day. I always mix it up.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out eventually. McDavid going nuclear. Brand says, dry line. Let's go. Chadwick, you guys bet on Bet365. I'm a cool bet guy, but I get all of my information from Oddshark.
Excellent. Well, that's where they got all the odds. It's where they got all the expert info.
So if you want some good intel, head to Oddshark.
100%.
Landon says, do we know the bottom 6? Yes, actually. I don't even know if we touched on the bottom 6. Jujar Tyler and Josh Archibald are going to play once again. That fourth line is where it's going to get a bit of a shake-up here.
Huge shake-up.
Completely new makeup on that fourth line. I heard them talking about this on the radio today, Jay, and I can kind of agree with this idea and this train of thought.
Well, work me through this. Tell me why you take Gaetan Haas off the fourth line. I love Gaetan Haas.
So, I love Gaetan Haas. I think that when it comes to the Oilers' fourth line, they have one goal and one goal only, and it is to stay even. When you're the fourth line, you need to stay even. Gaetan Haas, he kills penalties. I don't love taking him out of the lineup, but what we've seen so far this season on a couple different occasions is that when a player gets pulled out of the lineup and thrown in the taxi squad, they likely have a good bounce-back game their first time back. So Kyle Turris, he's a veteran player. I know people are saying, and we talked about this as well, that when he got pulled out of the lineup, I think it was almost a little bit of a mix of 2 different scenarios where I think he was a little bit banged up, but I think the way that things were trending for him, he was probably about 1 game away from getting pulled out of the lineup either way. So Kyle Turris is going to draw back into the lineup, fourth line center for the first time in a while. It's good to have that. He's a right shot, right, Kyle Turris? It's good to have that. He is a right shot. So you like having that on the penalty kill, especially in your own end. And then Devin Shore is going to play on the right. Joakim Nygard, which I had been begging to come back into the lineup, is going to play on the left side. I like Joakim Nygard's game. I think he gets it on the forecheck. I think he's speedy.
He is speedy and he can forecheck.
The thing with Kyle Turris
can't hold the puck.
Kyle Turris, and I don't want to say that Devin Shore's got wheels, but Shore and Nygaard, they can get around well. Kyle Turris has got to keep up. He has to keep up tonight. And if he doesn't, it's going to be a struggle.
Oh, or run 3 lines.
Run 3 lines. Chris says can't lose to the Leafs 3 times in a row. Chadwick says Oilers money line. Dylan says do the Leon and Marner at plus 625, both of them to score. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's nice odds. I don't mind that. Even though you have to cheer for Marner to score, but
we got an interesting comment here. Chris says I see Archie beating the lips off Dermott. I thought he said biting the lips off Dermott at first when I read that. I was like, what?
Yeah. Prison rules might take shape here, but I'm pumped for that. I love Archibald, man. He just plays hard, that guy.
And he's feisty, man.
He is so feisty.
People were loving that picture we put up on the Owens Instagram. If you don't follow us Nation_ON on Instagram. That one picture that we put up where it was Archibald and it said, over the last 2 games, Josh Archibald has 16 hits and a fight. And it was the picture of him pointing at the bench. If you want to get fired up, like I'm getting fired up even thinking about it right now. Just look at that picture of him. Like imagine like the adrenaline going through your body, playing in the NHL, skating by a bench and pointing at them and saying, you guys messed up. It reminds me of when the Blues won the cup. And you remember when Pat Maroon did that? Yeah. And he turned to the bench and said, you guys messed up. Oh, that's a vibe I get. You messed up, Leafs.
I hope Tip starts Archibald to send the message, and then Dermott starts. Well, because he's a defenseman, right?
Defenseman, yeah.
I hope this kicks off the game. I really, really do.
I want an absolute gong show tonight.
I do, yeah.
I want a gong show.
Yeah, I think we got to. I just these are nights you wish Cassian was back in the lineup, and we've not really heard much about his status, have we?
Nothing.
I just said status.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's like the British way of saying status. Anyways,
maybe it could be our new thing.
We speak the Queen's English.
Cassian's status is up in the air.
It's up there.
Can we assume that he probably busted his hand up in the fight?
Yeah. So what's that? 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks if it's a broken hand. But they've said nothing about it. He's not even skating. I know with a hand injury, a lot of the time you can get on the ice earlier just because you can just get around. You don't have to be firing the pill or anything. But.
Anyways, well, James Neal can throw it around too. So Neal, Barry.
Wait, what were you trying to say?
I was trying to say nurse. Anyways, we got to throw our weight around because we'll rattle them. Anyways, we have to win this game, and we have to also physically win this game.
Chris says, Josh, I'll give you $20 if you can correctly guess the score. Stay tuned. I'm going to guess it at the end. I'll associate that with the wager that I'm putting up to you guys. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Lots of people just saying, let's go Oilers. Chadwick says Yamamoto was awesome. And I just think back for a second. Just close your eyes. Jay, close your eyes and just think about that dry line. And the pace that they were on last season when they were together. And people were like, they can't sustain this, they can't sustain this. They were in sicko mode. Oh, I shouldn't have ruined it. That was going to potentially be my dose. Jeez. Neither of us can talk. Deuce player mode tonight. Gosh.
Yeah, I like I said, I just hope they show a version of themselves of last season. If they can if they're 80% as good as they were last season tonight, they'll have such a huge impact because they were buzzing. I really hope it can happen. I really do.
We got Archiekin Hitman. He is the one to hit Thornton and Archie broke Thornton's ribs earlier or whatever anything. Yeah. Just broke Thornton earlier this season. Yeah. Landon says third line brawl. Let's talk about that for a second. If you teed up these 2 third lines,
who are they up against?
We got Jujar Kara, Josh Archibald, and Tyler Ennis.
I feel like Tyler Ennis would be shifty, going up against
Pierre Engvall, who's a bit.
He's big.
Him and Mikheyev are big bodies.
Yeah, Mikheyev I'm not too worried about. I'm not too, but Engvall, he's pretty thick.
Hyman's kind of feisty.
He's feisty. Yeah. I wonder how. Yeah, that'd be good.
So I'm thinking Engvall is going to scrap Kara, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
size is size.
I think Hyman would probably end up going with Archibald.
Yeah.
And then Mikheyev can just go eat some soup or something.
And
then Dermott.
Yeah.
And then Dermott will come up from the third pairing.
Yeah,
and they'll go.
Yeah, he'll tap.
I like that, Landon. I think it's going to happen tonight. Okay, let's do our deuce player modes of the night. Do you want to start?
I'd like James Neal to. So this is my. Sorry. Deuce Vodka player mode.
Yes.
I would like James Neal to enter hot tub time machine mode. And let's get like 2017 playoff James Neal to come. And I'm not asking him to fly around the ice like he could, because obviously with the ankle injuries, he's not the same at foot speed. But shot, be there, be where you need to be to shoot for McDavid, and own the front of the net. And McDavid will find you and bounce a puck off that ass.
Yep. I'm just going to keep mine short and simple. I just need the second line to enter sicko mode. I said it before. We need that second line to be the driving force for this team tonight. We've seen too much over the last 2 games when we're talking about who played okay for the Oilers. And people were like, the top 2 lines stunk. It was the third and the fourth line that actually played okay for the Oilers. We got to switch that tonight. We need the third and fourth line to play well as well.
Yeah.
But the top 2 lines need to figure it out.
Yeah, dry line's got to show up. Yep, they got to show up. They're there. They're back. The band is back.
Yes. Okay, this is funny. Chris says maybe Tip will go over to the Leafs room and try to fight Keefe like Torts did back in the day. Maybe a little Keefe versus Tippett fight tonight? I don't know. Maybe they're going to be pushing the glass back and forth between the benches. Well, actually, there's not really between the benches at Rogers Place.
Yeah, I'd take a fired up trip.
Patrick Waugh and I think it was Bruce Boudreau when they were doing that one. Yep. Okay. Our next headline is Matthews returns. Jay, how much of an impact do you think that makes tonight?
Well, it's Austin Matthews. He's clearly a good player, but hopefully he's a distraction. I don't know. Like, they won without him, and hopefully him trying to get back in and find his game, and his wrist is probably still a little bit tender, so Oilers, you know where to focus. Wink, wink. Hopefully it's a distraction, and you know what? It's just going to motivate McDavid. That's really what it's going to do. Bringing Matthews now, McDavid has not been on the score sheet. I'm not going to say he hasn't been noticeable. He's always noticeable, but now that Matthews is there, that's just that extra little bit of motivation for McDavid. So I think it's going to work against them.
Dylan says, play the Leafs the way everyone else does. Hit them at the D-line and force the little ones to hesitate. Not scared of Bogosian or Dermott.
Bogosian says, maybe, but Dermott, are you kidding me?
Yeah, not Dermott. Bogosian, that's Stanley Cup champion who won a Stanley Cup at Rogers Place, Zach Bogosian.
Yeah, all right.
Landon says, let's throw Nurse and Bear out there too, and with Smith and Net. Let's talk about that as well. We haven't even mentioned Mike Smith getting the start tonight as well. Once again,
as he should.
Tip's going back to his guy, Mike Smith. I love it. Jay, you're happy with it as well, I assume.
Well, especially if the game's going to get heated. That's the type of guy that you want. Players, if he's pissed off, players are afraid of him because he will block you in the face. And
we saw it at the end of last game.
Yeah, we saw it in the last game. I wish he connected better than he did, and he scared the shit out of whatever his name is. Mikheyev.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even Mikheyev that hit him
in
the head.
Or was Barbanoff? No, it was Mikheyev.
Yeah, it wasn't even him that hit him in the head, but that's okay. Who cares? Just take a guy. It's about sending a message, which we really try to do there at the end of the game. So I'm pumped. And he played rock solid. He played rock solid for us those 2 periods, so we have to try. Mikko's let us down, so go with the hot hand. You know, I'm pumped. And if it's going to be an amped-up game where we're going to exert physicality, even more pumped that he's in the lineup.
Yep. As well, on top of that, let's just look at our goalie stats here quickly. You know, Mike Smith is still holding good numbers in the NHL. You know, he's still got a .938 save percentage, which would put him, let's see here, .938 would put him, I think it's like 3rd or 4th in the NHL. .938 puts him 7th.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing, and 7th, but that also puts him 2nd among goalies that have started 9 or more games. So he still has good numbers this year.
Yep.
And on the other side of it, we're looking at Freddie Anderson making his return to the crease. And he's been their number 1 all year long. But the Leafs,
we can score on him.
Oh yeah,
we can score on him.
And Jack Campbell and Michael Hutchinson are 2 good goalies.
Well,
they have good numbers.
Yeah, and they're playing for something, you know. So hopefully, Anderson is still maybe feeling the effects of his injury, and we also feel confident scoring on him. So.
Dwayne wishes that Tip would have went back to Koskinen, thinks he deserves a bounce back. And that's one thing, we talked about this on State of the Nation yesterday, that a lot of the time when Mike Smith has a bad game, Tippett likes to go right back to him and give him a chance to bounce back. Because we've seen, if you look at the numbers throughout Mike Smith's career, that he's really good coming off of a game that he didn't play great in. He always has a good bounce back, and I feel like this year, Smith, compared to Koskinen, Smith has almost got the benefit of the doubt. When Koskinen's had a tough game, Tippett will go right back to Smith. Whereas when Smith has a tough game, they'll go back to Smith once again. So I think that's just that's just knowing your guy. So
I think sure Koskinen deserves a chance, but I just don't feel good about him right now. Like, that's 2 shots on 2 goals. I don't care. Tell me those were grade A chances. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have been down 3-0 there. We shouldn't have been down 2-0 14 minutes in after 2 shots. Like, there's just no confidence. And then Smith goes in and does what he does. Like, go with the hot goalie right now. Like, Mikko does play good games for us, but like, you know, we need to win this game. We need to make a statement here. This whole series was supposed to be a statement, and we shit the bed the first 2 games. So this is very important to win. And Smith, over the last 30 days, has proven to be the better goalie. So it's not about trying to give a guy a shot to get his confidence back. It's about winning a hockey game.
Okay, let's talk money. Don't leave yet. Even if you're not a fan of betting, I have a task for you guys, and you're going to decide where I am heading tonight with my money. First of all, Leafs are minus 128 on the money line. Oilers plus 110 at home. Oilers, if you want to get them at minus 1.5, you can get them at 261. And this will put us up to, Jay, the player goal props. So, I've had a tough last 2 games here. As you guys know,
everyone has.
Everyone has. After the Super Bowl, I took a break from betting. I put a little bit of more money in my account for the game on Wednesday, placed some wagers, didn't win a single one. Actually, I might have won the McDavid goal prop. I don't know. But I have $10 left in my account for betting. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys.
Tough times.
I want you to pick for me who I'm betting on to score tonight. So if you're on Facebook or on Twitter, let me know in the comments right now, who do you want me to bet on to score tonight? And if you want to go, you know, if you want to chase the dragon like Jay likes it, if you want me to bet on Jujar, you know, Jujar's plus 600, I can get $60 back. That's not bad. Or, you know, if you're thinking,
make him bet on Austin Matthews.
No, he has to be an Oiler. Has to be an Oiler. So let me know in the comments. Who do you want me to bet on? I'm leaving it up to you guys. I'm thinking a little part of me wants to split it. I'm thinking about putting $5 on the Oilers plus 261 at minus 1.5, and then the other 5 on a player prop. Jay, who are you looking at?
Well, work with me on this logic because it's not accurate. This is just right from the heart. So, you know, a professional sports bettor will listen to what I have to say and think I'm just an absolute idiot. But I'm not a professional sports bettor. Oilers need to win this game. Austin Matthews in the lineup. This should motivate. There's a lot of shoulds here. This should motivate Connor McDavid. I feel like we will be bringing a physical element to tonight's game, where I feel like we can win in that matchup.
Yep.
You know, or we should win, because I'm living in shoulds right now. And Mike Smith should be a wall tonight. So I feel like it's like I just, if we're gonna win by 2 at a minimum.
Yeah, if we're gonna win,
we just got to get some goals. We just got to get the offense machine going. So I'm not even going like normally I sprinkle around and have fun with props. Like, no, tonight is business. So I am going 1 bet on Oilers minus 1.5. It's paying 2. Plus
it's good.
That is so juicy, and once again, I'm jaded by that, right? So I'm chasing. I'm going for the big swing on that, and so that way I can just lock into the game the whole time and ride the wave, and stay focused as opposed to checking the 900 bets I have on the go on which props or how many points or how many shots someone has. But those are all fun to do it, and do it if you find something good. But that would be my that's my pick. That's what I'm going with. We need to win.
Okay, right now, so I got Chris wants me to go Yamamoto. Nil says Archibald. Landon says Nuggy.
Dangerous Wade says Turris.
Dangerous Wade. You know what? I respect Dangerous Wade. I don't know if I'm going to do Turris. But if enough people want me to do Turris, I'll do Turris. Dwayne says Nuge. Chris says Dry. Nil says Neil. Anastasia says I should split it for sure. Anastasia, I think I'm going to do that. Half of it on plus 261, half of it on someone. Landon says anyone on the dry line.
Yeah, I think that's the
dry line.
Someone on the dry line not named Dry.
So
you want the odds.
But I seriously think Draisaitl's going to score tonight. That's where my heart wants me to
Okay.
go. Like, I want to bet.
Well,
I want to bet on Draisaitl.
That's
okay,
plus 115.
So Draisaitl
Or you can be
plus
270 on our boy Yam, Yam's. Oh God, he's bringing it. I love Yam. He's so due for a goal, man. So due. He's due.
Okay, if enough people,
Yam due? That's the question to all of you. Is Yam due?
If 5 people right now comment Yamamoto on the Facebook chat, I'll take Yamamoto. He'll be my guy. First one to 5. It's either Nuge, Dry, or Yam. Whoever gets 5 first, I'll do it. Wow, Chadwick coming out of left field here. Chadwick says, I have a lock tonight. Brooklyn Nets -9.
Why not? Sometimes you got to diversify. When you're on low bankroll, you got to reach to other sports. I love it.
I wonder who the Nets are playing tonight. Okay, Jay, while people are casting their final votes here for who I'm placing my life savings on, any final thoughts heading into Game 3?
Let's just play these guys hard and win. Like, let's win. We got to win. They've shut us out. That's got to be extra motivating. We've let the Maple Leafs, who is our Northern Division enemy, like enemy number 1, shut us out 2 games in a row. So let's make a statement here. We got a little physical there at the end of the second game. Love it. That's got to spill into this game, set the tone. But we got to shell Freddie Anderson. We got to figure all that out and just, protect our protect our zone. Just play good in the D zone like we did there for the second half and giving up 0 goals for the final 2 periods, and just continue that on. And we just need to we have to systematically beat the Leafs.
Okay, we got enough votes here. I'm going Yamamoto. I'm going Oilers -1.5. Finally, last thing before we wrap it up, Jay, your score prediction. I'm going to say 4-1 Oilers. Yamamoto, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nurse goals.
I'm gonna pay respect to the Leafs because they have been playing well defensively and they're really making us work for our chances. So I'm gonna go 3-1.
So you're not giving yourself any wiggle room on that -1.5.
Just gotta hit. Just don't need it. I just think they're gonna win by 2, and that's all I need.
As always, thank you so much to everyone that commented on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch. You guys make this show what it is. So thank you, as always, for being a part of it. Jay, thank you. Enjoy tonight's game.
Thank you.
Bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly.
Puck line.
Puck line.
-1.5.
Puck line.
Responsible bet on the puck line, -1.5.
And I want you guys to bet Yamamoto as well. And I think you should too. Oh no, you're only placing 1 bet.
We're advising that we think you should.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not telling you to bet Yamamoto, but I'm advising you that if you want to participate and chase the dragon with me, and then when Yamamoto scores,
then we all win.
Then we can all win.
All right, I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna back you up.
Let's go, baby. Enjoy tonight's game. Oilers Leafs 6 o'clock puck drop. We'll see you on Saturday for the Battle of Alberta. Enjoy it. Go Archibald. Let's go Oilers. Oh, you closed the software. Now it's gonna be